I got Scott McLaughlin here. How are you, mate?
Good, man. How are you?
Good. So I'm in the RV now, like right on the Indy track, pretty much.
You are smack bang in the middle of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway right now, which is pretty cool.
Right, mate. I saw your buddies the other day. They played a pretty good sheep Kiwi prank on you.
Yep. I mean, I'm not the only Kiwi in here, but unfortunately, I was the one that got herded all the sheep. But thankfully, they weren't real ones, and they were just easily deflatable fake sheep, so I could just put them in the bin.
That's awesome, mate. Now, look, of course, you're a Bathurst champion. You're a three-time Supercar champion in Australia. Back in November, you had your first start in IndyCars. What's the biggest difference that you felt between the Supercars and the IndyCars?
I think just the level of aerodynamic forces that the car has, the way that you can take a bend at sort of 180 mile an hour, 300 kilometers without any issue. It's pretty amazing the speeds that these cars do. And, I've had to throw a lot of the experience that I had with the Supercar out and really take a lot of the new experience of an Indy car in. And I've enjoyed that. I miss home a bit, but certainly loving the challenge of racing here in America and trying to make a name for myself.
So the last 2 weeks, has it been a sort of pinch yourself moments for what you're setting out to achieve?
Yeah, look, absolutely. It's been, to be in the Indy 500 field and to make the field and to be, and especially in like the Pennzoil Yellow Submarine, which is such a formidable, competitive, it's been around for a long time, and to run that livery in my first year at the Indy 500 is really special. So I'm excited just to experience it all and see what it is. But it's carb day today, and it's a lot of rain outside, and it's not ideal at the moment.
And you when you're a young fella, in New Zealand, were you looking up to the great Scott Dixon?
Yeah, look, I always followed Scott Dixon's career. My sole focus really was on supercars. I wanted to be a supercar driver first and foremost, and then eventually, obviously, had finished that goal, and then it was looking towards IndyCar in America. But I've always had an admiration for what Scotty's done. I don't think he gets enough credit back home, not only in New Zealand but in Australia as well. He's almost an immortal over here, and he just gets it done. It's awesome.
And he's got pole position again.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. The little bugger.
Where'd you slide into?
Starting 17th and your fastest qualifier for Team Penske is rookie Scott McLaughlin. After multiple championship seasons in Australian Supercars, Team Penske brings the New Zealand driver over to the States to compete in open wheel racing, and it's already been a success, earning a podium at Texas Motor Speedway. Can he stand atop the podium in his first Indy 500 start?
I'm a fair way back. I don't think you can see me yet, but maybe later on in the race he might be able to.
And how do you go for tactics? When you've never done the race before, you obviously talk to your teammate Will Power and a few other guys. How's your mindset go when you sort of enter this for the first time?
Yeah, sometimes it's going to be a good thing, and sometimes it's going to be a bad thing. Bad thing being I don't have the experience, but a good thing being because I don't have that experience, I don't really have any bad judgment, or I can sort of just make things on the fly a little bit easier rather than sort of thinking about it. So there's a lot that I'm going to learn on the fly on Sunday, and I'm going to have to get used to that. But I've enjoyed the experience so far. I think for me, it's all about trying to get to the end of the race in terms of that last stint, setting myself up that I'm in the sort of front pack for potentially the last 30 laps where I can sort of battle hard with everyone else.
And guys win it on debut too, which is amazing for this race.
Yeah, not many have, but a couple have. And there was one in 2016 who I'm racing this weekend, Alex Rossi. He won it. I certainly feel like if we do get ourselves in position to win, we can be right there and be able to capitalize if we need to. But we've had good speed. Just see what we've got.
Give me the differences of maybe the fans between Bathurst and Indianapolis right at this moment.
Honestly, it's very similar. It's probably just less camping and rollover cars and stuff like that. But it's certainly Bathurst and IndyCar and Indianapolis brings out the passion of the fans. This is the forefront of IndyCar racing. This is where IndyCar racing was born. And let's be honest, Bathurst is very much where Supercars was born. So you know, the fans that you come out are very passionate for the driver, very passionate for the brands. So Chevy, Honda, in Australia, it's Holden, Ford. Like it's a very passionate sort of organization, but they've been really nice, you know, especially in America. I think they've been really, you know, welcoming to me and my family, and really excited for me to be here. Australia was always good to me. You know, I always had a huge fan base over there, and you know, a lot of the people that were watching me in Bathurst will be getting up at say 2:30 in the morning watching me on Monday morning. So I'm really proud of that.
He'll never be introduced the same way again. From now on, it'll be Will Power, Indianapolis 500 winner for 2018. Checkered flag, Power and Penske win it.
Now, Will Power, your teammate, obviously there's always competition with every driver out there, but has he, you know, given you some sort of advice?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, it's hard because we're both trying to chase the same piece of road and want that same piece of history. So there's definitely a competitive rivalry. And, you know, if you look at any sporting event between Australia and New Zealand, everyone's pretty competitive with each other. But I think at the end of the day, we have worked really well together. Will is very open to any question I ask. Sometimes he doesn't know it, sometimes he does. But at the same time, whenever he does know it, he opens up for me. So it's a very cool partnership, and it's kind of nice to hear a familiar accent for me, and I guess for him as well.
Now, have you managed to figure out the whole milk drinking thing, you know, when you win the Indy 500?
We can choose between whole milk, low fat, and 2% or something like that. So yeah, I've got whole milk ordered, and if I do get handed it, it's going to go everywhere. I'm excited.
All right, whole milk. I love that you got your milk chosen, which every driver has to do, right, before the race.
Yeah. You get a form before the race, and you literally got to hand it out and give the form back to IndyCar and say, "This is the milk I want." When
you're sitting there, you know, pole 17, looking at the race, about to go, how do you know who you're going to pick off early? Do you have some sort of strategy? You got to just take it when it comes, whoever it is. There might be people coming from behind you thinking the same thing. So you've really just got to pick it off one at a time. And especially it's such a long race. So you've got to be like, you got to be careful at the start. You got to get through that first part of the race and then slowly pick them off. But I think we've got a good enough car to get it done. But I'd love to be in that front pack by the end of the race for sure. Bathurst to Indy, you know, it's how do you describe this, you know, sort of the last 18-month journey you've been on? It's been an 18-month journey of up and downs, but to be finally in the IndyCar in a special place and in history, to be chasing on another dream of mine, I'm very lucky. And I chased one dream, and I'm looking forward to chasing another. Well, I hope you get to douse your head in milk. Me too. You're champion, mate. Thanks so much. Thanks, Brad. Appreciate it.